Hi, and welcome. Funny title. If you do not understand this, you could go out of business. The reason is this. Most people don't understand what a cost is. And I'm not just referring to the public, but also to managers and business owners. This is not speculation on my part, but based on experience and mistakes I've made over the past 40 years. Once, years back, on a certain radio station, which was called Talk, I won't mention the name, but it was Talk Radio, people could phone in and dish in their opinions on some or other subject. But one morning, a caller called into this talk show and expressed outrage that an electrician had just visited to fix a problem and had charged 500 Rand for the call and had just been there for 15 minutes. Many calls followed and the talk show host milked it for all it's worth. The electrician's rates started getting compared to that of a brain surgeon. It's just a load of horsemen here. Here's the thing. When the electrician arrives, you're not just paying the electrician or any other service provider who makes house calls for the 15 minutes they are at your house. Out of their fee, they must recover a portion of the following items in order to make a profit. The traveling time to and from their place of business, the cost of the van they use, vehicle running costs, fuel, maintenance, insurance, the rental of their home base, in other words, the maybe offices or little workshop they operate from, the salary of the person who answers their telephone. They may have a part-time bookkeeper if they're small to come in and do their books once a month. They might have to pay a tax consultant to prepare their tax returns at the end of the year. And the revenue they will not be earning when they go on holiday. They have times when they're just not available and they're not getting paid. That's the nature of a one-person business in that type of industry. So what happens is that many people with technical skills see the rates being charged, and that was the 15 minutes for the 500 Rand for the 15-minute call, and they think, I can compete with these rates. So they start their own businesses, charge less, get lots of work, and then wonder why they're not making a profit. In any business where employee time is either charged out directly to clients or used as part of the overall estimate of a project that is being quoted on, it is essential that there is an exact understanding of exactly what a cost is. Most people think that the amount paid for something is its cost. It may be in some cases, but usually it is not. Let us take the case where we pay for labor. Here's the question. Assume we pay somebody 10 Rand per hour. What do they cost per hour? The immediate response is 10 Rand. Then after thinking about it, for a while people remember things called company contributions. Things the business pays in addition to the wages paid, such as the business's contribution to the employees' pension funds, medical aid schemes, and so on, if they have employees in addition to themselves, and they're not just an entirely one-man business. Yes, these do add to the cost of employing someone, but they are only part of the cost. The real cost per hour of an employee will depend on how many hours of work we get from the person while they're at work. If you do not recover all the indirect costs associated with employees, you will not operate at a profit. And if you do not operate at a profit, your business will shrivel and die. I printed out a section from my workbook that I use on my Finance for Non-Financial Managers programs, which is not focused solely on accounting and balance sheets and income statements and calculating financial ratios. Costs and how costs are arrived at are a very important part of a non-financial manager's job or a business owner's job. So let me just take you through it. Excuse me reading this off here, but I can't put it up as a slide. There's too much detail. So firstly, what we do is we take the annual payments. And let's say we're paying this person 10 per hour. They work 40 hours for 52 weeks of a year. Well, nobody works for 52 weeks a year, but let's just assume that's what we're going to pay for. Then we have a contribution to a pension fund and a contribution to a medical aid and other payments, UIF, that type of thing. We might also have to send people on training programs, so that's another cost. We might have to purchase protective clothing. So those are the things. So these are just rough round numbers that are easy for people to work with when I'm giving them exercises to do. So the total payments come to 25,656. Now the hours worked. Available hours in the year, 40 hours, 52 weeks, 2,080 hours. Less. Annual leave, let's say they get 3 weeks leave, that's 120 hours. Time off sick, well, you'd have to work out the average in your workforce. So let's say it's 5 days a year, so there's another 40 hours gone. And let's say that we have 10 paid public holidays, so there's another 80 hours gone. Now, for every day, in addition to those lost hours, for every day, for a number of reasons, people are not working. Now, it might not be their fault. Let me give you some examples. It couldn't be bad management, poor scheduling, waiting for material, waiting to be given work to do, or maybe they're just loafing. So if we take a figure of 2 hours per day, that's 230 working days, so that's 460 hours. So in total so far we've lost 700 hours, leaving us with 1,380 hours worked in a year. Now we take the 25,656 divided by the hours that are worked, 1,380, then we have a cost per hour of 18 Rand 59. So that's a lot more than 10 Rand, but yet the 18 Rand 59 is our cost per hour. If you're more interested in this, then what I can do is if you email me below and say, Mel, cost per hour or something, words to that effect, I will email this to you, which will give you all more details that you can use to calculate cost per hour for people that work for you. So please do that. If you want one, send it. There's no cost involved to you. And just remember, costs are not what they seem to be on the surface. Thank you for watching.